routine and off without a fall.
Now, we should mention first performance. 6 are on a team, but the 5 top scorers are the ones that count. Let's take a replay here. One team, by the way,
she just had a minor break. If you can look, you would like to see hips perpendicular to the balance beam. And a lot of her problems as she goes through the exercise, gymnastics quite squared off, straight, true to the beam. So she's picking up little end of her skills. That's mostly from being scared, maybe being first up, because she knows her team depends on the psychological start she will be giving it. It's a big responsibility when you're first up. That's a terrific score.
8.90
really, that's
is
a great start for your team. That's wonderful.
Super.
now, we mentioned starts of teams. Actually, there are lineups. They usually head toward the last 2 or the ones that are going to get it up. But setting the lineup, who's going to go first, can have a big strategical effect, can't it?
When I was Olympic team coach and when we first had to break the international barrier, go out and prove that the United States could count, I used to put my second or third best person up first in order to get the team off to a really good start.
And here is Debbie Tomasi.
Very nice handspring front. This is a vaulting sometimes when the gymnasts are learning that skill. She vaulted that very high and landed it very nicely.
He's one of the North Stars.
In fact, one of the things you very often see is when they do look for the mat and see it before they land, it causes them to overturn or to miss the landing. So you have to have the courage not to see the mat.
Debbie Tomasi comes from East Hanover, New Jersey. And she's 16 years old.
Very powerful. You can see she has great strength, good run, very nice vaulter. You can tell that. A real good training in this event.
She's allowed her top score of 2. Uh-oh.
She tried to make it better.
That's right. That's one of those times when you're glad you get a second chance at vaulting.
Absolutely.
She's not going to use the second chance, but at least she had a chance to try to stick the landing.
Well, she's a talented girl. Here's the replay right now.
Is this the first or the second?
This is the second. Yeah.
We see that she tried to go from her tuck position to a straight position before she landed, because if she could have done that, it would have made her second vault better. But she does it too soon and sits.
But see, her first vault score was 9.45, and I'm sure that's a great score for her to have. The second vault will be considerably lower than that.
Now we're moving over to the bars. And by the way, with the men, you know, the men's parallel bar, women. Now, Muriel, I've heard talk that straight arms, not bent elbows, are so vital in scoring high. Can you comment on that?
That's correct. That's right. If you watch her elbows, see at the end of the kip, her elbows bent a little bit to get to the handstand, and see the little elbow bend going to the handstand again, another minor elbow bend. Those are things the judges look for, and what is admired, the epitome of excellence on an even bar work, is being able to swing with a great amount of amplitude and with straight arms.
Now, that was Sonja Knapp, 13 years old.
I'd like to say that I have watched this meet now for several years. Sonja is one of the little girls that we should pay a lot of attention to today, because I think she is one of the gymnasts in this competition who is destined for international team membership. I think she's a wonderful gymnast and mature beyond her years.
Watch her execution. I think that's what Muriel's referring to. You see the nice extension of the legs, beautiful toe point, and very nice position, finishing at the end of the move very nicely in complete extension.
And I'd like to add that she is a junior national team member and the first in South Africa Invitational, the youngest ever to win.
That's correct. She was competing against young ladies that were, for the most part, older than 15 years old, and she did it at 12 years old. But what's beautiful about Sonja is that she does not just have the tricks. She has the artistry, which has very often, more recently, been missing in gymnastics.
Yep.
And a great score of 9.35. I know Tom will be excited to see that score.
Tina Littlefield on the balance beam of the Marva teams. This is how she scored going into tonight. Those are discounted right now. We're going into tonight's competition. Each team by team goes around to each of these events, and they rotate. They're called rotations. And at the end, of course, end of the night, each